Good morning everybody, I'm back again onto video number 21 of you can make a bit of money using a bit of wood and a bit of common sense. So let's get into it. Just let me get the yoga moves out of the way. That's it, all limbered up, had me meds, had me coffee. So what I've got here is a rough sawn 3x3 post. And in the last video you see me mill up some 4x2, and this is the bits that I had over from that. They didn't come out too well, if I'm perfectly honest with you, so I'm going to use them for this project. There we go. So I'm just debating here what I can actually make. Get the finger eater going in a minute, so let's mark up. Now in my head I've got a specific size that I want to go to, and then you'll see I actually make a mistake, but here we go. Keep them fingers away from that blade. That thing, mitre saw, any saw, will have your digits off, no trouble. So keep aware of your surroundings, what you're doing, trip hazards anywhere, anything like that. I'm not preaching, because I'm not the safest person on the planet, but you catch me drift. So I'm cutting this down here into 8cm segments. I haven't got a clue what that is in inches. I'm so sorry to the American and Canadian friends and subscribers. I will start doing inches as well. So I'm just taking my time here, making sure it doesn't have to be millimetre perfect, this bit. None of this project has to be. It's just the total width for the project and the total height that has to be near enough correct. But these sort of blocks don't have to be. Now, as I'm doing this project, what I do with this is I make it, this is actually for the house, there's a space in the house that Shelley wants this, so I'm making it for a specific size. You could make this out of scrap wood, you could make this out of pallets. One thing I will say is I could have made these blocks, these are 3x3s, what I should have done is use 4x4s ideally, and the surrounding wood, this sort of what I'm chopping up here now, maybe a 4x1 that you can buy or something like that, which would make the project super easy than I'm making it look hard. And I'm in my head, it's because I'm doing it in my head, and I do make a drastic mistake, but I get out of it. It's all about the problem solving, isn't it? So if you can problem solve, when you get these problems come in front of you, you can do it. So there you go. There's the blocks all cut up. I made a few bigger blocks there because I wanted maybe to change the design a little bit. But in the end, I didn't use the bigger sort of 12cm blocks. So I'm just trimming a bit off the end here. Not very well, as you can see. I'm still getting used to my Japanese saws. I love them. There's all different types of these Japanese saws. I've made the decision just to use the Japanese saws, so I'm just marking up again, using my speed square. Get yourself a speed square, you won't go wrong. You don't have to be perfect here. Like I say, keep them digits away. Should make some t-shirts with that, keep them digits away. Makita, I've got the sticker coming for Makita, the finger eater. There you go, that's it, sort of more or less all chopped up. So we get onto a bit of sand in here. Now I'm running short on sandpaper, so I'm using a 240 grit for the boards, the long boards, because they're quite smooth anyway. And for the blocks, I'm going to be using 80 grit because the rough saw, they need taken back a bit. Plus, I normally use like a 120 grit on everything or a 180 grit. I'm just really short on both. I actually haven't got any 120 grit, so they're in order. But this is for the house, and it's sort of like to what I see, how it comes out, and then I'll know then when I actually put these into production and make them and sell them online. The wrong bits, the right bits, how I can improve them. And I've already established a few things, like I said to you a bit earlier, using the 4x1 and the 4x4 for the blocks. So I'm just getting the splinters off basically. This is a rustic piece. It's sort of contemporary but rustic at the same time. If you can blend them two together, that's what's going on in the head right here, right now. Mind you, you never know what's going on in my head. Honestly, you don't want a day in my head, trust me. You'll end up in a lunatic asylum. So I'm just going over it nice and gentle. This sound makes life just really easy. I've got the dust extraction going. This hardly kicks any dust out or anything when it's on with the dust extractor. It's just that this is really rough, this wood, so that's what you can see all around there. So when you're doing this, although you know, just get a mask, get a good quality mask. So I'm just marking up the wall here, and here's where I've just sussed out I've made a mistake. I mean, I'm not going to say it there, am I really? But I've messed up on the dimensions. I've overlooked a major issue, but I easily remedy it. And this is what I mean when you're doing things off the bat with no plans or nothing like that, and it's in your head, and you can problem solve and still make it look good. It's better for you, you know, get the old brain matter working. Shelley says I haven't got a brain, but you never know. That's you know, I get grief all the time up above. So I just chop it down a little bit here. With this saw, it's big enough to put like loads in at one time. It's a massive blade on this. I've had the Makita years and years. I've rebuilt it and I look after it. I paid a lot of money for it when I first bought it. I think it was about 8-9 years ago. And here's Shelley now. Butter won't melt in that mouth of hers. But she's just going over. She's going to use 3 different shades of stain on this, because I just want it to contrast a little bit. So we're using the spirit-based stains by Morel's. I'm not sponsored by them. It's just that's something we use. Just for speed of use, goes on quick. And for that rustic sort of vibe, it does really well, really good. So, as I say in all my videos, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to our channel, it would be really appreciated. And do comment and let me know if you want to know anything. Build lists, how to build it. A bit of glue here. There we go. And that's Type Bond 2. No real reason why I use Type Bond 2. I just do. I just find it a good glue. I've always used it. And what I get here is I get it, that, you know, that movement you get when you put the glue on and the wood just constantly moves. And I'm going to sort of brad nail this together. So what you're seeing there and how it's coming across is it looks like the end of a pallet. So you could get pallets and chop these down for this project, but I've tried something similar in the past and it didn't quite work because the items I'm fitting in it didn't fit. So just get it, Brad. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. I just need them gaps in the middle to be roughly the same size. I don't want them perfectly the same size because it's the look I'm going for. So I'm just flipped it over, glue it and brad it again. You could nail it, you could screw it, but for this sort of project I'm just opting to brad nail it. Yeah, let me know where you're all from. Welcome America, USA, Canada, Europe. I've had the Dutch come on, the Germans come on, all saying hello. And you know what? thank you for all your support. It really is appreciated. I love every single one of you, and it's a real nice sort of vibe I'm getting on here. I absolutely adore you all. You're all fantastic. So one of the upgrades I made was this sort of brad nailer. I used to have an old scrappy old air one, which was really good, but it meant air lines everywhere, electric wires everywhere. So I saved up and I got that. It were expensive. I got it from a company called Rutland's here in the UK. So I'm just trimming this down to size again. This is for pieces for the back. Now, I was unsure how to hang this on the wall, but I'm going to use sort of a bit of a French cleat system to hang it. So I'm just making a French cleat bits here through my table saw, and I am going to be getting a push block for this, and I'm going to be making some push sticks, which I might make as a project. So let me know if you want to see that as a project, and I'll make the project. That's the push sticks. The push block, I want to buy one of them, just for, I don't trust myself. So I'm just fastening the French cleat bits onto the back, and this is an offcut of another bit of wood I had left over. So I'm just using that for the bottom section, for when it's against the wall, it doesn't sort of swing in, and it stabilises it. People all know what I mean there. So because this wood is really thin, getting these screws into position was a bit tough. This is why I could have used maybe the 4x1, because it just had a bit of a more thickness about it, which would have made the old piece a bit wider overall, but it would have been easier and better. So I'm just marking up here. Now, what you didn't see off camera there is, here he is under the table, watching what's going on. What you didn't see here was I've checked the wall for electrical cables, because I've got a socket down at the bottom there. So just screwing in, nice and easy. You know, my screws are a bit out of line there, but nobody's going to see this. And it's all trial and error. It's one of them trial and error things. There it is. A wine rack, whiskey rack, whatever rack you want to call it, made to measure for that space. Now, it could have been a bit wider to fit wider bottles. That's why I want 4x1 blocks. These are 3x3. So I have tried a bottle in it that didn't fit. So just be wary of that. But let me know what you think in the comments of this. I love it. Shelley loves it. And it'll stay for us forever. And I am going to make these, and I'm going to sell them, because they look really cool. Imagine a nice leather armchair sat in front of that. It'd look fantastic. Bye for now.